On July 19th, 2008, 10 years ago today, I created a YouTube channel under the name IMMATOONLINK. I was 13 years old at the time, and although it wasn't the first YouTube channel I created, it might as well have been. It was the channel I stuck with and created content for as the years passed by. I want to give a quick retrospective of this channel, talking about the different phases of content I went through and how it became what it is today. There's a lot I've done with this channel, and I've never really talked about it before now, and I thought it would be fun to run through everything from the top. The very first video I uploaded to this channel is Brawl YouTube accounts, which you may know if you browsed my upload history by oldest first, and for no other possible reason. Here's the dealio. I had come across a community of people on YouTube role-playing as Super Smash Bros. Brawl roster characters, saying words at each other and being fun people. There was a video in particular uploaded by The Ice Climbers, a channel that unfortunately no longer exists, listing playable Brawl characters currently either taken or vacant, each channel name generally consisting of I'm character, I am character, or perhaps even I'm a character. The surprise, turns out Toonlink, one of my favorite Smash Bros. Characters at the time, was vacant, which certainly surprised me. Gotta snatch that up. Jackpot, my dudes. Enter IMMATOONLINK. Written in all caps, any capitalization in any other way looks dumb. And although the video is down now, I specifically recall what I commented on to introduce myself, something along the lines of, Huff puff, am I late? Did I arrive in time? Something dumb like that. Huzzah! I was now part of the community. And with it, I thought I'd give a more up-to-date update on the video the Ice Climbers had posted, known as Brawl YouTube accounts. And shortly after, Brawl YouTube accounts update. This at the time wasn't my main YouTube account, but it basically became it really shortly after. It gained a lot of traction and got me a couple hundred subscribers over time, basically completely overshadowing my first account overnight. Nothing too special in hindsight, but it meant a lot to me at the time. With that, the majority of videos I'd posted were community videos, sprinkled in with a few Earthbound, Super Mario World, and Zelda stuff. At the time, I basically had no idea what I was doing. I was just pressing buttons and videos came out, shoutouts to Windows Movie Maker. I'd say my first crowning achievement came with Jealousy Beam. I'm gonna play this content completely unfiltered, so I'll just warn you in advance with a very big fat seizure warning right here. Jealousy Beam is a terrible video. That's me on the right, and that's Red Toonlink and his girlfriend on the left, and that's, oh my god, that's an unregistered screen recorded gold watermark up there. Even back then in the late 2000s, unregistered Hypercam 2 logos were already sort of a punchline. It is essentially being a statement saying, I am low quality screen recorded garbage. And because I didn't want to conform to what everybody else was doing, I used a different screen recording software. Ironically, in hindsight, a software with an even more garish logo. Anyways, this was technically my first animated music video, set to I'm a Raver by Zero Bass. It's a rad song. The video is essentially me being quote-unquote jealous that Red Toonlink had a girlfriend, but I didn't. That's as deep as the video goes. It's worth a watch if you don't mind losing your eyes. From then on, I kept making garbage, and I mean a lot of garbage. Most of it was terrible text-based Let's Play-ish videos, and you can already guess how good those are based on that description alone. However, interspersed between that garbage was some entertaining garbage, and I'd like to go through the rarities in my collection. First, Chocolate Dancing, a play on Caramel Dancin'. I felt smart coming up with that one at the time. Red's head exploded so that I could waste a bunch of rupees reviving him, referencing the game Zelda 4 Swords, featuring the first time I used a Weird Al song in a video. And that'll become important later. Let's criticize Super Frenzy World Episode 10 Birthday Special, the first video I ever used my real voice in.
In itself, but secondly, yesterday was my birthday.
Terrible. Zelda in a Nutshell, my first proper scripted animated skit. Also terrible. And yet, kinda fantastic. Despite the quality of the rest of the video, I'll always laugh at this.
Foiled again.
100 videos. A video I posted back when I first uploaded 100 videos. There are nowhere near 100 videos preceding it now, as most of them are terrible and unlisted and cluttered up my channel, including the previously mentioned Super Frenzy World video, but for novelty's sake, I will include that one in the description. Hello there, old chap.
Hello there, old chap.
You're in a different place now.
There's nothing special about this one. What happens if you try to kiss Alice? Another one of those music video things featuring Red Toonlink and his girlfriend. Basically Jealousy Beam again, but without me. Instead it was Purple Toonlink, and therefore a little less vain. Jealousy Beam Alert is literally Jealousy Beam again. More specifically, it's a remake featuring more animation and less dumb animation, and also a bit in the middle, referencing the original one. It was really cool at the time, I promise. Epic Stare Down. Jesus Christ, I'm registered screen recording. Okay, so this is kind of a music video thing. I stare down Ouija. At the time, another one of those old Mario meme things. His gimmick was that he stared a lot. GTL IRL OMG, the first video I uploaded featuring webcam me.
That is recording!
If I recall correctly, this was recorded with a PS2 iToy. I'd figured out how to connect to the computer. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't record footage from my webcam. I got my webcam to display on screen and then proceeded to record that with unregistered screen recorder gold. Good job! Green Likes to Party. The last Phase 1 animated music video I'd made featuring We Like to Party by the Venga Boys. In it, I included a lot of intelligent jokes, including misspelling every single word of the song. Once again, seizure warnings everywhere across this video. Alright, we've reached roughly the... Starting around 2010, I'd basically completely stopped making Brawl YouTube account related community content and gone off and done my own thing, rebranding myself as Green TL, or at least attempting to. The IMMATOONLINK channel and name stuck despite me attempting to make a new main account, but because not many people migrated over, I just stuck with it anyways. There's technically not a real clear-cut line where Phase 1 ends and Phase 2 begins, but it's roughly when I started making a ton of Cave Story videos. Cave Story being a cool little free indie title that if you haven't played, I recommend you do so. It's pretty good. Anyway, it's time to cover another bunch of videos, including Johnny the Hedgehog, a video making fun of Sonic Recolors. Art, a video making fun of Sonic Recolors. A video for my 15th birthday. Okay, real talk. This was the earliest video in my library that I still think kinda unironically holds up today. It was created with the intention of being overly cringy as if written and animated by a 9-year-old, and I think it still kinda actually works and gives me kind of a chuckle today. You know, if you tune your brain to the right frequency. 2 minutes of Donkey Kong, NC, AGK, and Death. NC standing for Nostalgia Critic, and AGK standing for Angry German Kid. I intended on making this a series of videos because I had fun making this one, being a dumb mashup of clips and jokes to put together in a thing. I recall making part of a second one but never finished it. In hindsight, it's a terrible video with nothing of substance though. Oh well. Iggy Gatau Senai, the first video I sung in.
It just occurred to me that I've been through this place again and again and in the same spot every time I repeatedly die.
I was kind of proud of this one, it being basically a full Mario-themed music video of the Japanese Mega Man fandom song Airman Gatau Senai. Almost attempted to re-sing it someday.
This is forward every time, somehow every time I do.
I didn't say it was good singing, alright? Oh boy, here we go. It's time for the real star of Phase 2, the Cave Story mashups. I'd felt like I'd finally found my calling. Going in Audacity and pressing a few buttons to sync up 2 different versions of the same song together. Cave Story originally released with its own fun set of good songs, and around this point it released on the Wii shopping channel as a WiiWare title, including a completely recomposed soundtrack. What I did was adjust the tempo of the latter tracks to sync up with the originals and play them at the same time, one in each stereo track, so one in each headphone ear. I got a decent amount of attention on those videos, so I kept them going for a while, eventually switching to the European release of these tracks, as it turned out the original release didn't have every effect and instrument it should have. Whoops. I remember specifically having a grudge against Nicalis, the publishing company, specifically because of that, as well as taking 5 centuries to release Viva on the 3DS in Australia, as well as like a couple of other games or whatever. They've gotten better now, so that's good. Eventually I did the 3DS's remake too, because it featured an entirely new redone soundtrack. In hindsight, Cave Story 3DS as a game was kind of terribly designed, but at least the music was still rad. In between those videos, I had a few supplementary videos too, so let's run through the good, bad ones. First, this was roughly the time I'd posted 200 videos if you wanted a sense of scale. The video celebrating it as dumb and effortless.
Okay, this is my 200th video.
Going to work is fantastic. I was with a friend and basically said, let's make a video, and improv'd everything from then on. We still keep in touch, and there's a likely chance he's watching this video. Shoutouts to BioLizard18.
I'm here.
What's took you so long?
I had a car crash.
You don't have a car.
Brogat222 plays Pikmin 2. Like, nobody saw this video, but I remember it being super funny at the time. I play a quote-unquote gangster and play through some Pikmin.
And you get to use it. However, now you are to with Brawl Pikmin. Oh, so stay there.
Neat. Zealousy Beam, a long-awaited sequel to Jealousy Beam, I suppose. Although I did kinda do it in earlier music videos, this is probably the first one where I made an extended effort to make every song beat match animation beats. I didn't do a very good job, but I tried. I talk a bit more about this in the birthday episode of Animation Insights. Also on this channel, you can go watch and see me talk about beats. Also, notably, this is the last video in which I draw my Toonlink character in this distinct, bad style. Also the last music video of its kind, being nothing more than a bunch of flashing lights and flash gradients and colors. Kinda with the exception of Green's Cure for Depression. Another one of those goofy, let's use a bunch of Windows Movie Maker special effects low-effort music videos. I can definitively say this is the last one of its kind. 16th birthday special.
Day again. Once again, I have no video prepared. So here's my goal, like following me to Castelli City.
Christ, enunciate, kid. This video would have been a lot funnier if I just said the words right. It's me making fun of the fact that Golurk, a big bulky robo-Pokemon, could fly around. Once again, funny at the time. Everybody is a homosexual piece of gravel. Technically the first song to be written entirely by me. It's everybody is a homosexual piece of gravel. Everybody is a gravel. Dumb? On the one hand, that was the intention, on the other hand, it doesn't, like, overcome the dumbness and become unironically good. Still, it has its place in this channel's history. I say that because I referenced it in a way later video. I'm 17 now. By this point, I'm sure you've noticed a recurring theme. Ever since the start of this channel, I've always uploaded a video for my birthday, and I still have yet to miss one. This video in particular is just a short joke featuring the quiz game and the first Japanese-only Rhythm Heaven game. It's a fun series if you haven't checked it out. Not Marvel vs. Not Capcom 2 Showcase. So this is a showcase of a side project I'd been working on for quite a while at the time, it being the sequel to a dumb school assignment fighting game I'd made based on Marvel vs. Capcom 3. The original Not Marvel vs. Not Capcom is terrible, but I put a ton of work into making the sequel play as closely to Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as I could. And honestly, it's still super fun! You can go play it right now, this is a playable demo still on my DeviantArt page, that'll be in the description. This showcase was made to show off the 3 playable characters at the time, the placeholder character I'd eventually made into a proper fighter, Genfis Memphisism, a character I'd basically ripped straight from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mike Hagar, and It's no secret I got into the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic TV show. There is at least a 90% chance any subscriber watching this video is at least a passing interest of the show, which is how you probably ended up here in the first place. By this point in time, Season 2 had finished and Season 3 is on its way. In hindsight, it's pretty funny to say, but at the time I felt like I was late to the party because we're in Season 8 now. The very first video on my channel that any MLP or pony character period appears in is the Not Marvel vs. Not Capcom 2 showcase, in which I have Rainbow Dash as my third playable character. This was especially notable for me at the time because Fighting as Magic was in full force, and Rainbow Dash wasn't a playable character. I'd prided myself in making a playable Rainbow Dash long before even the fan-run version of Fighting as Magic implemented her. This also marks the first time I'd animated a pony. Something that becomes far more notable later in the path, but despite that, I actually don't animate any more ponies for a while. There were a couple more Not Marvel vs. Not Capcom 2 videos after that, which none of which got any attention, by the way. I put a lot of work into that stupid game. But soon after I posted my final Cave Story mashup video, I posted my first entirely pony Pony video. I got a My Little Pony DVD. It features a short stolen visual gag and me yelling at the camera. It might have a lot of views now, but of course that's only because it got grouped in with the really popular pony stuff I posted later. But we'll get to that in a hot minute. Before we dive headfirst into the never-ending pony void, I have Purple People Eater, a music video of a song I hate. This was a school project where the teacher forced us to animate to a song of his choosing, despite him letting the previous class he taught animate to whichever song they'd like. In hindsight, I get why he did it. Letting any student choose any song to animate to would get very messy very quick. But it still seems kinda unfair to tell the next class they're essentially forced to repent the sins of some other unrelated class. I remember complaining about that at the time. I wouldn't have been anywhere near as whiny if it weren't for the fact that the song we were forced to animate was a really terrible song. It's like, we were like mid-teens when I was like 16 or 17 or whatever, and this was a song for 3-year-olds. Anyway, whatever. I hated the song, so I was somewhat facetious about it, intentionally riffing on it during the animation itself. It might not be the prettiest, but I put a ton of effort into this video, and I think it still kind of shows. It almost kind of holds up. I rewatched it, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I did work on that video for a while, didn't I? Then, half a month later, I released the big one. The first step into what became a new chapter of my life. The video that swiftly changed my long-time hobby into a long and complicated profession. But first, let's talk about another video, posted on January the 1st, 2013, after the Pony DVD video and before the first big one. I've had this video unlisted on my channel the whole time. Friendship is confusing. This was more of a test video, the first time I'd ever used Sony Vegas to edit a video, the program I still use to this day, and it's essentially a lost episode, a video I only shared around between friends and not one I've ever really talked about. It's nothing too special, it's just a short riff of the opening of the first MLP episode, but I think it's a very neat piece of channel history. I'll leave the full video as a fun patron-exclusive bonus for my loyal patrons. I love you all. I want to move, and I don't want... And then the white one said, too bad. And the black one got pissed, and then the white one's just like, stop doing that, or I'll put you in the moon. Okay, now we can talk about I Am Princess Celestia. This toy, this stupid toy, is the reason I'm still making videos today. All I do in this video is point it at the camera and hit its button, showing off its stupid derp eyes and cycling through all of its possible and completely out of character lines. But this video caught on like wildfire. Shoutouts to Cheeseburger's Brony page for that. I'm pretty sure that whoever was moderating the Cheeseburger Brony page that day and said, yes, I will post this on the front page, is probably the reason why this channel has gone where it has gone, which is, this is very interesting. It's like a single point that like influences so much beyond it. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, so I bought more pony toys and I made more videos like it. Hello, I'm Princess Cadence. MLP opening, real life reenactment. Alicorn Twilight, shoutouts to this being way before Twilight got her wings in the actual show. How to make everything 20% cooler. Let's fly to the car. Here's the thing about Let's Fly to the Castle. It was supposed to be a derivative complementary video to I Am Princess Celestia. The idea was that I could make a few good funny videos based on singular lines Celestia says, including Let's Fly to the Castle and I Love When You Comb My Hair. But of course, Let's Fly to the Castle was the one that exploded. If I Am Princess Celestia was a springboard, Let's Fly to the Castle was a pair of wings. It might not even be at 1 million views today, but the effect it left on the community, like, it shows GIFs, parody videos, references in other pieces of content. This dumb 4-second video essentially became ingrained in the fandom's culture. Using that video as a stepping stone, I made a ton of videos from that point onward. Going through each of them one by one would be a huge waste of time, and unlike the first couple of phases of content, it would probably be quicker to list the videos nobody watched. And because they were so easy and quick to make, my name caught on. My name, IMMATOONLINK. Oh, right. For a long period of time, I was known exclusively as IMMATOONLINK, even amongst the pony community. If I had known ahead of time this content would catch on so well, I never would have used the name IMMATOONLINK. It was a name I used 5 years prior as a role-playing account for a now defunct community, and it associated my online being with a property I didn't own. But I was kinda stuck with it. I'd realized that changing my name now would potentially jeopardize my chances at catching on in the near future. So I kept with it, being known as IMMATOONLINK. Obviously this didn't last. I eventually changed my name to Viva IMMATOONLINK Reverie. Viva Reverie being the name, and IMMATOONLINK being the nickname. The rapper name, you know. Eventually, a long time later, I had changed my name to just be Viva Reverie, phasing out the IMMATOONLINK moniker once and for all. I don't recall exactly when I did these, but this was well into the next phase of videos at the very least. Anyways, I'm skipping ahead. Let's Celebrate is a silly video, not technically notable in any way, but it is one of the few Phase 1/2 themes that ran into Phase 3, me celebrating the amount of videos I'd posted with 300 videos. I don't do that anymore. Mostly because not only is it super hard to keep track of considering the video is no longer available on my channel, but also it's kind of an arbitrary thing to celebrate anyways. Whoa, you posted many videos. Congratulations me, I guess. In any case, this video also celebrated my foray into my first 1,000 subscribers, a notable milestone at the time. The first proper animated pony video I made was This Is a Short Video, May 2nd, 2013. It being a super short, silly gag. As I've shown previously, I've made several animated videos beforehand, but this video in particular did start with what was about to become an ongoing trend. Looking through a lot of my older pony toy content, I'll be honest, I'm not the most fond of it nowadays. At the time, I remember being at least a little proud of it, or finding it a little funny, but TBH, I'd slap my younger self. Look at his face. Look at that stupid, dumb face. That is a very slappable face. I suppose that's naturally what happens, though. Something you might find mindlessly exciting at the time doesn't necessarily hold up well years later with maturity. Not to say there's no value to be seen, there's still several videos from this period I still super enjoy despite that. But there are a lot of duds too. But then we get into the pony toy phase might have only been less than a year long, but it was still very substantial when it came to the growth of my channel. But what I think kept it around were the animations. I eventually sort of phased out the toy videos and started replacing them with animated stuff, starting with the Pink Isle, being the first proper pony music video, if it counts. I think it kinda does. Very shortly after was A Spectacular Performance, a video I still hear quoted even to this day.
I say, good show. What?
Soon after was Applejack the Rebellious Rocker, a public service announcement, Rainbow Dash's Excited, Missing Content, and Twilight's Dilemma, and even way later there was Hearts to Hooves, all based on clips from Weird Al songs. You might recall me mentioning that earlier. This is where it finally comes back into play. Weird Al songs for a while were kind of a channel theme. In November 2013, I posted We're Going for a Ride, Apogee, and Very Hot back to back. Maybe Apogee didn't catch on nearly as well, but the other two videos are still two of the 3 most popular videos on my channel, period. Soon after was Particle Mare 2, another music video that caught on pretty well. Unlike a lot of the videos from Phase 3, I still think the majority of my Phase 4 videos completely hold up today, including, the drum roll, Princess Celestia Being Deep, a video that, not so dissimilar to Let's Fly to the Castle, eventually became ingrained as part of the fandom's culture. I'm spending far less time on these phases the closer to modern day we get, because this is the content I'm pretty sure a large percentage of you have already seen if you're watching this video. Viv Shorts and ponies in the Viv Short style were born out of me wanting to phase out show-style ponies. This was for a couple of reasons. First, they weren't mine. I was only goofing off with puppets other people had made, and I felt like that I was kind of cheapening the value my videos had. Second, I wanted to have a recognizable style, hence the doofy fat-nosed horses with slightly off black outlines. Many people were animating with show-style horses at the time, and even if I made my own, I'd just be blending in with the crowd instead of making a name myself based on my own merit and style. And so that's what I did for a while, with mixed results. Although I'd personally consider my Viv Shorts to be some of my best comedic content, it was also not very approachable, especially considering I kind of stopped using canon characters and the majority of the characters that showed up were OCs, meaning that after a while I had kind of a viewer drop-off. Despite that, I still enjoyed making it, and it felt good having a series of videos I could call entirely my own with no strings attached. Before now, it always felt like I was on crutches, relying on either MLP characters or songs I didn't own. During this period, I also did a lot of experimenting, including making a long series of videos known as Vivcast, in which I sit and talk about things. I'd consider myself a bit of a pretty good rambler, and there was a very dedicated set of people who followed along and really enjoyed the Vivcast videos, and that was cool. Every Vivcast video is now unlisted on this channel, however, you can still access them because the playlist that has all of them is still public if you go on the playlists section of my channel, so you can check those out if you're interested. Alright, so besides the collaborative animated bits and a few miscellaneous releases, including the Lemon Demon music videos, I think between then and today I've only really had two big singular releases: Brony Polka Animated and Trigger Happy Horses. I'd consider this sort of a phase 6. Instead of making a lot of small videos, I find more long-lasting value nowadays in content polished to a sheen. Obviously, I do have occasional smaller bits of content dividing the bigger stuff, but I've been spending by far the majority of my time recently on bigger projects. Despite releasing bits of Brony Polka Animated and Trigger Happy Horses, I'd consider neither of them really finished. I have a full 6-chapter outline of Trigger Happy Horses I want to eventually work through, and obviously I haven't animated the entirety of Brony Polka Animated song yet. I've been recently flipping between Trigger Happy Horses and Brony Polka Animated work. More recently, I've been working on Brony Polka Animated in particular, but both of these projects are kind of a big deal for me. Both of them, for different reasons, are basically a culmination of a lot of previous works I'd done. Trigger Happy Horses is essentially a big crossover featuring a ton of characters from a lot of my older videos, all set in this Danganronpa universe, sort of murder mystery style setting thing. And Brony Polka Animated it's a music video, and you know me, I like my music videos. More importantly, it's set to a Weird Al style polka medley of Brony songs. That like oozes what my content has kind of been building up to. It celebrates the MLP fandom with a grand jolly compilation of the fandom's greatest songs. If I do eventually completely put aside all MLP content on this channel, there is no way I won't be doing it without completing Brony Polka Animated first. That being said, I have made an attempt to phase out my pony content. Several of my more recent videos are completely pony free, including the Lemon Demon animated music videos, simply because of the stigma that unfortunately surrounds the fandom even to this day. I've got a feeling that's exactly why my numbers these days are so stagnant, because the general pony fandom has dissipated these past few years, and those not in the fandom aren't interested in a pony-centric YouTube channel. And those still in the fandom probably have a hard time approaching my content too, because it's derivative and features a lot of my own original characters. That's 2 barriers of entry, 3 if you include Danganronpa for Trigger Happy Horses. Likewise, I'm not entirely sure what the future of this channel will be. I've got ideas, and one way or another I still intend to make fun stuff to watch, but whether my future content gets big enough to resonate with internet culture like it did once before is for the future to decide. Today is July 19th, 2018. I've been making internet content for almost half my life. Some good, some bad, some popular, some not so much. However, despite the slower content releases nowadays, I don't consider this a bittersweet end. I just consider this another phase of my channel's content output. I need to first properly find my footing in the modern YouTube climate, and although obviously sooner is better than later, if it means it doesn't happen until even after another couple of years from now, then so be it. Who knows when or if that next Iron Princess Celestia is coming. Before I sign off, and if you don't mind me getting a little sappy here, I'd like to mention one last thing I haven't really spoken about before on this channel. This pony's name is Viva Reverie. Her cutie mark represents optimism, pushing forward despite hardships or always looking on the bright side of life. The name Viva Reverie, or Viva la Reverie, or Live the Dream / Power to the Dream, represents pushing for and working for what you dream in. My dream is to make content the world will find value in.